Mike Owens and Inside Fighting here, joined today by Mike Davis, who returns to action February 1st, facing Fares Ziam in UFC Saudi Arabia. Mike, great to sit down and chat as always. How are emotions ahead of your return?
Perfect. Perfect. I'm happy now that I get to get back in there. It's been terrible 4 years, man. It's been crazy, honest. But it feels good that I am finally getting back in there once again.
How have you processed all of the difficulties? Because there has been a lot of setbacks, injuries, fight cancellations. How have you processed all of that as you head into what is arguably the biggest fight of your career?
Just the universe, man. I don't have control over some of the things, and as life plays out, I just go with the flow. That's I've been doing that my whole life, and it's gotten me this far. So why try to separate and turn off of what's already programmed for me? I'm just going straight.
Is this a short notice fight in some ways? Because I saw the official fight
Mhm.
announcement, or the fight announcement on your Instagram came on Christmas Day, which to a lot of many people's surprise. So is this a semi short notice, mid notice camp,
It's
let's
like
say?
it's like a month. It was like what, 4 weeks
Hmm,
or five weeks, mate. That's not too short notice. That's
hmm,
pretty good. It is technically short notice because sorry, I was drinking. Two of my teammates were already scheduled to fight about 2.5 weeks prior to me getting my announcement. So
hmm.
they've been in deep camp, and then I started really late, and now I'm playing keep up the whole time. So it's a little short notice for me, but not really. I guess 5 weeks is quite a bit of time.
One of your teammates you alluded to there, Terence McKinney, actually fought, and I believe he was the last guy to defeat your opponent in Fares Ziam. I think it took him just over 2 minutes. I think at 2 minutes 11 seconds. Any advice from T-Rex in terms of how to navigate this style?
Uh, he didn't really have anything to say. He, yeah, no, he he hasn't said anything about the fight. I haven't asked him anything. I just been training.
Hmm.
I'm not that guy that's like trying to get the scoop on my opponents. I think, and I've wanted this before. If I show up blindfolded to who I'm fighting, and then we just step in the cage, and that's when I know, that's how I would love that.
Hmm.
I don't need to know who I'm fighting. I need to work on my skills. If I'm working on a camp just to negate you or what you can do, I'm not improving myself. I'm just bettering myself for one night. No, I'm trying
Hmm.
to become the best fighter in every aspect all the time, not just for one fight. So I work on myself. I work on the things that I'm slacking in, and when it comes fight night, it shows.
Is that the case for most fighters, do you think? Do you think most fighters would prefer to focus on themselves rather than a specific opponent?
No.
No.
Everybody else, everybody I know they're like walking around with their phone watching their fighter.
Mm,
Um, I know people that have like taped pictures of their fighter to like bags, and
mm.
they go to the extreme. I don't know. I've never even heard this guy talk. I've never even seen him like a live person. I've never seen him anything. I just don't care.
Have you ever seen him fight? Do you watch any tape for your opponent?
No,
No. No interest?
no. Uh-uh. If he has fought during a card that I've watched, I've seen him, which I did see him
Right.
knock out Matt Frevola because I was watching that card. Other than that, I've never seen him fight.
Mm.
But that's it. I mean,
I,
that's the most I know about how he fights.
I have to ask you about the Matt Frevola KO because I was actually there covering the cards at UFC
Oh, you were
Paris.
okay. Okay.
Um, probably one of the knockouts, probably the second best knockout I saw all year alive, perhaps
Oh
behind
no.
Holloway Gaethje. So it was a good
Yeah.
one, but the criticism of Ziam in his career has been that he hasn't really put his foot on the gas and kind of really hunted for those finishes, and then he goes and has that finish not
Right.
only at home but over arguably his toughest test in Matt Frevola. Did and I know you're saying that you don't necessarily focus on your opponent, so I think I know the answer. But did his knockout over Matt Frevola change your opinion of him at all?
No. No.
No.
That's I love Matt, but he's a wild guy, so his chin's open a lot. Like a lot.
Mm,
Almost every 2 seconds.
mm,
Love him though. I know him. I know his dad. He's a good guy. I'm
hun-
proud that he made it to the UFC.
mm, 100%. We were talking a little bit off camera there, and I wanted to pick your brains because you were saying that not shortly after this interview, you have a mental therapy session. which you said is
Yeah,
part of your fight camp. Just talk to me a little bit
yeah.
about that and what that entails.
We talk more about like how camp is going, how I feel about camp, skill sets that I've developed for mental fortitude, not to break, not to overcomplicate what I'm doing. A lot of it is just to keep me grounded and on a straight path towards what I'm going for instead of getting all over the place and getting ahead of myself
How long have you been doing that?
every fight.
Every fight since.
Yeah. Since Mason Jones.
Right, okay. And what benefit do you feel like that brings?
Clarity.
How was that?
Uh, when I used to fight, it was just, I guess I just show up and let life play out. But now I'm like mentally, I am there. I know what my goals are. I know what I need to do. And it's not just in terms of fighting, it's just in terms of what I personally, like in my head, need to do
Mm,
during the fight, before the fight, during warm-ups, during training, drilling, what I need to incorporate to my daily life. There's a lot of stuff. It's been really helpful. I like it.
mm. You
Mainly just because of who it is, and how often, I guess, I can stay in touch with someone.
100%. Um, we mentioned activity at the start of the interview. How important going forward, and obviously past February 1st. I know you're not looking past your next fight because nobody ever does, but how important is activity in your career to keep those regular fights
Yeah,
going and moving in the right direction?
I was talking to you about it. Since 2020, my career has halted. If you look prior to 2020, I was fighting 2, 3 times a year all the time. I fought 4 times one year.
Mm,
I was moving. I was cruising, and then I got hit by a car. So after that, my body just doesn't hold together very well. And going up for the Dober fight, I felt phenomenal. I felt the best shape of my life. I hit a 20, what was it, like a 21-second 200 meter, and I'm moving like
wow.
I felt in great shape. And then the bicep thing happens, like freak accident. So I'm not hoping, but I am taking the change of my approach to stay healthy, so I may fight 2 or 3 more times. In my perfect world, I win this fight, neither of us get hurt, and then I can go fight again April whatever in Miami.
April 9th.
9th. There you go. So that would be quick turnaround. I don't really get out of shape, stay in shape. I fight April 9th. Then I can rest. I'll take a little bit off because I have a seminar in Germany in May, June. So I'll be in Germany and then back at it July and again November, December.
Mm,
Maybe October because I always win fights in October. It's my birth month.
I like it. Um, if I could offer you one of two things, a fight on the April 9th UFC 314 card in Miami, or your next fight against the top 15 ranked fighter in the lightweight division, which one would you pick?
Um, it depends. It depends because right now I'm taking a gamble on my career and with my contracts in the UFC and everything like that. So I have one fight left.
Okay.
I would probably want to fight that out so I can see what's on the table,
Okay.
what they offer, who they offer, how much they offer, like where I stand with the company, stuff like that. So I'd probably be more interested in that April fight,
Okay.
rather than top 15. We're gonna take a hard fight, but I'm not gonna re-sign my contract, so it's not right now. And if I take a top 15, I'm fighting the best for nothing, for like scrap.
I see. I see. Makes sense. You sound like a smart businessman the way you talk there, Mike. A lot of guys would have answered that question and said the top 15 straight away. They want to get that ranking next to the name.
That's fine. It's not super important. I'll get there.
Um, I do have to ask you about the title fight coming up in your division this weekend.
Of
We've
course,
we've
of
we've
course.
we've made good time scheduling this interview. Islam Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukan, the rematch. What do you make of this matchup, and give me maybe one key to victory for each guy to have success?
Islam does what he does. He's actually been decent with his striking that I noticed, but all of his fights play out him out grappling people. I think Arman's path to victory would be to negate takedowns, stop trying to wrestle fourth,
Mm.
just block him from taking you down, and then wear him out. If you can wear out Islam and then land your strikes, pick your shots, I think that's your best way. Get him tired. I noticed that as the later rounds came against Volk, he started getting rocked by everything. It was little punches, little connections. So, and he was tired, and that's it. You get him tired, you can't take punches anymore.
So that's the realistic game plan as you've kind of mapped out for us. How realistic of a chance do you give Arman Tsarukan in this fight? I believe he's actually a bigger underdog than Murata against Umar Nurmagomedov. I think it's around
Oh
plus
man,
350 at the
that's those
moment.
are two such good fights, back to back too.
Mm,
Um, I don't know, man. I think if Arman would just believe in his striking, he's pretty good.
mm.
He has pretty good striking, so I think he should try to strike it out. Only grapple if it comes down to it, but play your cards on the feet.
So in your mind, if you're forming a game plan, a general game plan to have success against Islam Makhachev, you do feel like it would be in the striking because when I speak to some people, they say maybe put him on the back foot and try and offensively wrestle him, but you feel like the key to defeating him would be a striking
He's
based game plan.
gonna, if you offensively wrestle him, he's known for wrestling. He's gonna end
Mm,
up on top. You may take him down, but he's gonna overpower. He's gonna sweep. He's gonna end up on top. And then now look at you. You're on bottom for the rest of the round. The same thing that happened to Trey Ogden just recently.
mm,
He tried the offensive and ended up on bottom for an entire round.
mm.
Um, if you can't wrestle like at that elite level, don't try to take people down.
There's a
Um,
lot.
no,
Sorry,
no,
go
no, no,
ahead.
you go, you go. No,
No,
you
sorry,
go.
go ahead.
I don't remember what I was gonna
Okay.
say.
I was just about to ask you about there is a certain featherweight champion who took Ilia Topuria who talks a lot about moving up to the lightweight division. How much of a chance would you give him against Islam Makhachev?
I don't know how good his wrestling is.
Mm,
I know that he has good jiu-jitsu. Ilya has good jiu-jitsu. But he is small.
mm,
He's really small. I think when it comes down to that, if he can hit Islam, there's always a chance. Everybody has a puncher's chance.
mm,
Old lady walking down the street could punch me in the face, knock me out. Like everybody has a puncher's
mm,
chance. But once you rock Islam and he shoots on you, now you have to grapple. And I think that's where the weight difference would show.
mm. 100%. Well, turning the conversation back to you for one final question. You can be as brief or as detailed as you like, but talk me through the perfect fight day as you envisage it on February 1st. From morning to night, walk me through what the perfect fight day looks like.
Um, do fighters still shake out, right? Oh, I get a
I
little
believe so.
shakeout, a little
Mm,
warm up. Um, great meal, get ready, where we go to the venue, good warm up for the fight. Fight happens, I win. Um, I don't really care how. I just want to win. Then I don't know. I feel like I would like to go get a beer. We can't drink out there though, so I don't know. Go get some food. I would love to like all go get some food, me and the crew, because I feel like I'll be the last fight of my team.
mm,
So all of us go get some food and celebrate, I guess. All three and oh victory for our gym. This is the first time we've had this many people on one card, coming from a small hole in the mall gym. So it's very exciting, and I feel like this is an opportunity to put Fusion XL on the map because we don't really like nobody really knows about us, but we have amazing athletes in this gym.
Do you feel like it's a benefit having teammates on the same card as you because you're all peaking in terms of training camp and obviously going through the weight cut is kind of a shared experience and the whole fight is all the exterior factors to the actual fight you kind of go through together.
I think so.
Mm,
Because all of our weights are kind of the same.
mm,
So we all have to cut weight the same way. So we're
mm.
all going to be in there at the same time doing the same things. This allows us to have more coaches brought over. So
Of
we have
course.
like every coach from our gym almost coming to the
Mm.
fights. And we've never had that. It's always just the head coach. So I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little different. It's gonna be more of a vibe, less of a job.
Mm. I love it.
I think the less stress we have going into the cage is going to let us perform like we do at sparring. In
Mm,
sparring, I'm untouchable.
yeah,
If I can do the same thing in the cage, it's a rough night for anybody.
I love it. And I think that's the best place for us to end. Mike, thank you so much for your time. Great to see you back in action.
Of
Have a
course.
great and safe rest of camp and best of luck for the next fight.
All right, I'll see you there.